He was supposed to hate me. In fact, by every rule of logic, every silent hierarchy in the cruel ecosystem of American high school, he should have made my life miserable. After all, I had managed to insult the school's golden boy 3 times in 3 different languages. But nothing about him was logical. The first time it happened, it was in Spanish class. My tongue slipped, nerves twisted, and instead of complimenting his accent, I muttered something that sounded dangerously close to calling him an arrogant rooster. The entire class laughed. He didn't. His blue eyes locked on me like a warning flare. The second was in French club, where I thought I was joking about his popularity. But somehow it came out as he struts around like he owns the world. People chuckled. He crossed his arms, jaw tight. The third time was in English, me native language. And that was the worst. I was tired, annoyed, and trying to hide how my stomach flipped every time he walked into a room. So I muttered under my breath, "Some people just think they're untouchable." He heard me. Of course he did. That was the day he cornered me by the lockers, close enough that I could smell the sharp tang of his cologne and the sweat of football practice clinging to him. "3 times, he said, voice low and dangerous. "You've got a death wish, or you've got something else going on. Which is it?" I should have said sorry. I should have explained. But instead I froze. My throat closed. My heart slammed like it wanted out of my chest. Because the truth was, I didn't hate him at all. I was terrified of how much I didn't. It's funny how the people we're drawn to are often the ones we can't stand the thought of losing, even before we ever have them. For weeks I avoided him. The school was big enough, crowded enough that I thought I could make myself invisible. But he always found me in the cafeteria, in the library, even on the damn bus. He never said much, just stared. Studied me like I was some puzzle he refused to let go unsolved. And then came the night of the bonfire. The football team had won another game, and the whole school gathered around flames that licked the sky, faces glowing in the orange heat. Music blared, people laughed, and somewhere in the chaos, I found myself standing alone, nursing a soda like it was a shield. That's when he appeared beside me, leaning just close enough that our shoulders brushed. "You really suck at insults," he said. I blinked. "Excuse me? If you're going to call me names in Spanish, at least get it right. I don't strut. I walk." And in French, that sentence was butchered. "You should have asked for help." I turned to him, stunned, and for the first time I saw something in his expression that wasn't anger. It was amusement, teasing. "Why do you care what I say?" I whispered. He stared at me for a long time, the fire painting shadows across his face. Then he shrugged. "Because you're the only one not kissing my ass. Everyone else treats me like I'm untouchable. You didn't." I swallowed hard. My chest ached. "I didn't mean I know." His voice softened. "That's why I'm still talking to you." Things changed after that night. Slowly, like winter thawing into spring. He started sitting near me in class, tossing me half-smiles when the teacher wasn't looking. He asked for help with French conjugations, even though he was already good at them. I pretended not to notice that his leg would sometimes brush mine under the desk and linger just a second too long. But then came the real test, the part that made my heart split in two. Rumors. High school runs on them like blood in veins. And when whispers started spreading about why the golden boy and the nobody were suddenly spending so much time together, I panicked. I avoided him again, ducking into bathrooms, leaving class early, making excuses. I thought I was protecting him, protecting us. He didn't see it that way. One afternoon, he stormed into the library, eyes blazing. "You think I care what they say?" he demanded, his voice loud enough to draw stares. I wanted to disappear. My throat closed up, but the words came anyway, sharp and desperate. "You should care. You have everything, friends, a future, a reputation. Don't ruin it because of me." For a second, I thought he'd yell. Instead, he did something worse. He laughed. A bitter, broken sound. "Everything?" he said quietly. "You think any of that matters if I can't be myself? If I can't even stand next to the person I actually want without hiding?" I froze. My chest burned. And then he whispered, almost too soft to hear, "You're the only thing that feels real." The days that followed were a storm, tears, fights, slammed doors. But there were also quiet moments. Sitting in his truck, windows fogged, our hands finding each other in the dark. Long walks where he told me about the pressure of always being perfect, of never being allowed to screw up. And slowly, painfully, I realized that the boy everyone loved was just a boy who wanted to be loved for real. The first time he kissed me, it wasn't under fireworks or on some perfect date. It was in the rain, behind the bleachers, both of us soaked and shivering. He cupped my face like I was something fragile, something precious. And when his lips touched mine, it felt less like an explosion and more like coming home. High school didn't magically change. People still whispered. Some friendships broke. Some teachers looked at us differently. But we learned to hold onto each other, to ourselves. And when graduation came, and he walked across the stage with that same confident grin, I knew the boy who once seemed untouchable had finally found something worth touching. Someone worth fighting for. And as for me, I stopped running. Because sometimes love doesn't come in the form of grand gestures or perfect timing. Sometimes it comes disguised as 3 clumsy insults, a bonfire confession, and a kiss in the rain. But it's love all the same. And that's enough. Thank you for listening. Don't forget to like and subscribe to stay updated with the latest videos.